Alright guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you my entire Yak-Power wiring system, how I wired it and everything else, and we're also going to be eliminating the Naqua 10 amp hour battery, and I'm just going to be using my 100 amp hour lithium trolling motor battery to run everything, the fish finder, the lights, everything, the motor. It's going to run everything off one battery because I keep forgetting my Naqua 10 amp hour battery. It goes under the seat. I'm not really thinking about it. I'm thinking I got my big battery. That's what I need. So anyway, we're going to jump into it. We are going to install these two wires right here. This is a through hole wire that you would normally see if you wanted to like plug in something like a camera or your phone or something like that. It's just an external power source that runs into the hole. And this adapter lets us run to this battery connector. So this will be connected to the trolling motor battery. This is going to connect from this to this. So this, I think, switches the polarity, or gives you the option to switch polarity, because when you plug in this directly to this, it's going to cross wires. You're going to have red into black and black into red. As far as I remember, that might not be the case, but as far as I remember, that's what this is. This is an extension, so it runs from here, because this is all going to be in the hole. So you're not having any wiring. This is going to be flush with the hole. And then you're going to have this, which is not enough wire to plug into. So this is going to give you the extension to join the two, as well as that one little short cable that's going to flip polarity if you need that to be done. So let's hop into it. Let's start with how I wired this system. Let me get everything out of the way here. I've had a few questions about this light right here. So as you can see, this is the light dock for the Yak-Power. I think it's a lightning pole or something like that. You just drill, because this end is just like this right here. You just drill that 3/4 inch hole like you normally would for something like this, and then you just feed it down. Now how I did it, because you have this hatch right here, so you have a nice center hatch here, and this is where I ran all my Yak-Power wires anyway. So what I did was I basically just forced this cable, and you know, see, it has some memory to it, so you can kind of bend it if you want to bend it to make it go a certain way. So I bent it down and out, and I just fed it down this side right here. And then you can really get to about here. So as long as you can get it probably 3 or 4 feet in and in the right direction, you can reach it here and pull it all the way through. So I didn't have to drill any hatches back here. It's just a 3/4 inch hole for that wire to be fed. So you don't need any access back here. That's how I did that. Had a couple questions about that. The puck, I just drilled a hole, fed it down, put a Yak-Power SAE adapter on it, and plugged it right in. Same thing with the fish finder. The fish finder is actually on the same channel as the puck. So when I hit the button on the Yak-Power system, which is the #1 button, both of these turn on, because there's something I want on all the time. That's usually the only thing I'm using my Yak-Power system for, but it's nice to have lights when in low light, like morning and evening. Plus you need them to be legal in Virginia. This is the power cable I was talking about. We don't need this anymore. That's the Naqua adapter. So this is going to plug directly into this, just like that. And it's really long. I was looking for the 4 foot, but nobody had the 4 foot in stock. So I bought the 8 foot one, which was a little more expensive, but it'll work. So we'll come back to this. Let's talk about the lights that I have right here, the little button lights. That's obvious. You're right here. You can reach the back of that and pull them through. And these front lights here, the navigation lights, the red and green, I basically did the same thing. I tried to force it back as far as I could, but the trolling motor wires and everything got in the way on this side, because that's where all the wires run for your Minn Kota to come to this power port right here to the battery. And I had my fish finder wires all down. So there's a lot of wires on this side of the boat. So what I had to do was I just took an electrician's fish tape and I fed it from here all the way up to the front. I installed the light. I installed both lights actually, and just had all the wires in this hatch right here. Ran the fish tape up to the front, taped the end of my light wires to the fish tape, and just pulled it back through. And it works like a charm. If you don't have an electrician's fish tape, I think they're about 20 bucks at Lowe's or any hardware store. They are amazing for working on kayaks, because you may not have that hole access in the right spot, but with that fish tape, you can get it there as long as you have a hole access. Normally you have one in the front, one in the back, and sometimes one in the middle, not always. But that fish tape is really, really helpful. If you're going to be doing a lot of kayak rigging, I would definitely recommend it. It's about 20 bucks, but it'll save you hours and hours of frustration. So that's how I wired this entire system. Everything except the number 2 is taken up. We got the stern, got the navigation lights for the front, for the bow, which is the B button. The midship button, the M button, is my button lights for the cockpit. And the number 1 is the puck and the fish finder. And number 2 is reserved for my GoPros, which will be an upcoming project. But today, let's get to the battery. What we're gonna do, super simple, is we're gonna have to drill a hole, which I'm gonna go right here. And you're gonna feed that through, pull it all through. I'm probably gonna reuse that twist tie to bundle this back up. And then it comes with 2 screws. It comes with these 2 screws. That's just to make sure it holds. And it does have a rubber gasket on it, just like all the other Yak-Power stuff. It's all gasketed, and you shouldn't have any leaks or anything. So let me get the drill and the drill bit. Now I like using a step bit. I'm pretty sure the biggest setting on this is the 3/4. So this lets me work all the way up. And yeah, I won't touch the back there, but this lets me work all the way up, and I don't have to worry about making it too big. This is a step bit, like I said in a prior video. That's what you should use to expand these holes. You'd have to get a bigger one, you know, that would go up to like 1.5 inches or something like that. But it steps up, so you just have to make sure you stop when you need to stop. But a paddle bit will just tear this up because there's already a big hole here. A step bit you can press in till you get to the right size and then bore it out even more. So let's put it right about there. Yeah, right about there. I always keep these little shreds. I usually throw them in a baggie or something. That way, if you ever need to patch a little tiny hole, like a screw hole or something like that, you can just melt this stuff down and it matches your kayak pretty well. But that's just me. Those would be for very small patches like screw holes and stuff like that. So all we got to do now is just feed this on through. Just like this. Make sure we have it right side up. There we go. Let's look at it, make sure she's not crooked. There you go. Doesn't take much, nice and sealed up and totally waterproof when you want to float the river and not have anything plugged into it. As you can see, I do load my stuff with dielectric grease just to prevent rust. Now let's get this bit folded back up. Now when we plug in here, you see that right there? That's what I was talking about. That's exactly what I was talking about. So you can see this top wire is black over here and red over here, and black over here and red over here. So that means we are going to have to use, see, this is the actual extension right here. So that just would run in here and you plug the other side into your battery. This is the polarity shift. I'm actually going to put this on the inside here. One less thing to worry about. And now you can see exactly what it does. Now see, it takes that red and runs it to red because these connectors are flipped. These wires are flipped. So no longer, see, if I was running it just like this, see how it doesn't line up? They face the same direction. You have to be like this. Well, with this, it turns red to red and black to black with the opposite connectors. So that's why it comes with that for this exact type of application where you're going to run the battery externally on the outside of the hull. So that's exactly what this is made for. Now we got to install this on the battery. And that's super easy. I'm probably not even going to do that on camera. I'm probably just going to do it and get back to you. And it does come with these little connectors just in case you're not using a kind of like a deer feeder battery or a fish finder battery. So those slide right in, clip in, and now I can attach it to my big lithium battery over here. So we got the battery installed here. So you can see it would sit just like this with this on this side. So I ran this to the back. I kept most of it, including the fuse and everything, inside and just ran the extension here. And see, now this gives us plenty of space when it's in the right position. So just plug it in. Everything should be on. So let's walk over here to our little Yak-Power switch. Turn that on. All right, bow. Everything's on. Midship. Stern light's not installed, but you can see the midship lights are glaring. Everything's working good. And if I hit this again, you can see the puck turned on. It's blue. Turn everything off. And it has memory, so when you turn it back on, everything that you had on stays on. So I'm going to leave one on so I don't have to fool with it. But there you go. Now everything is running off of one battery. I don't have to worry about my Aqua battery anymore because I don't need it. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know they had a lot of questions about the whole Yak-Power system and how I ran wires from here to there and stuff like that. Hopefully this video answered those questions you had, and hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe. I think the next video we're going to do is an anchored wizard install on this, because sometimes I do want to anchor from the rear where the Minn Kota AutoPilot anchors you from the bow. So that's going to be the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.